Hey, spiritual superstars. I'm Nicole. Welcome. And let's go ahead and type in our 1111s, the opening of the spirit realm, and get started here. If you've been questioning whether you are spiritually gifted, whether you have them, are they, we're going to go through all of that here right now. So pull up a seat, get on that Stairmaster, however way you're going to do this, but definitely stay tuned because you don't want to miss any of this. Okay, we're going to go in straight detail because I want everybody to understand the gifts that you were given, why you were given them, and then I'm going to give you some tips on how to use them to live a successful life and get paid helping people by using your spiritual gifts. Okay, so you want to learn how to monetize your passion for helping other people by using your spiritual gifts. This is the video for you. So make sure you type in your 1111s, the opening of the spirit realm. Tanya, I see you got 4 ones, you got 3 ones up there, girl. Let's get you your 4 ones up there. 3 is amazing. All right, Tanya's got her 4. All right. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's see how many people we can get to actually like this video, because there are many of us that are spiritually gifted and we're just kind of floating around, hit or miss, and we're kind of going through life knowing we're spiritually gifted, knowing we're an empath, knowing that we are an intuit, knowing that we're psychic, knowing that we've got this beautiful message on our tongue. It's in our soul. We're doing readings for ourselves behind closed doors. We're trying to kind of try it out, if you will, with friends and family who we're comfortable sharing it with. And secretly, I feel many of us deep down inside really want to do this for a living, really want to be able to help somebody using what comes naturally for us and really, earn a lucrative income doing so. I'm here to tell you that you can. You absolutely can. I'm founder of Spiritual Guidance Academy, and that's where we help you master your spiritual gifts and we help you succeed in your spiritual based business as well. And we want you to be in business for a lifetime. You absolutely can do that. I do that. And I teach our students and my private coaching clients how to do it too. And they have been very successful. So let's go ahead and begin. Claircognizance. All right. So claircognizance, and I've got my little notes here. I simply just printed out some stuff from one of our certified programs at spiritualguidanceacademy.com. And so we're going to go through the 10 clairs. Claircognizance is the first one that we're going to discuss, and that's clear knowing. Claircognizance is really intuitive knowing. It's a psychic knowing. It's an intuitive understanding. It is that unexplainable that happens, that defies human logic. And there's just a clear knowing of future and even past events that you weren't told on a human level. Meaning you can go up to somebody and tell them all their business, okay? Whether they want to or not. We have discussed that because there's some etiquette there that you want to pay attention to. And you just blow their whole spot up. And sometimes you don't really mean to. I can't speak for everybody, but I know that I have shared in my naivety and in my just eagerness to try to help people when I was comfortable enough to, okay, let's just go with this. I have really turned people off. I have really hurt some people unknowingly and certainly, not on purpose, but you have to be really responsible for that energy and the visions and the messages that you're receiving, because quite frankly, it's not up to us. I believe as a professional, it's not up to us to decide whether or not this person needs to have that information. And also, you want to make sure that when you interpret your visions, your messages, that clarity is very clear, but the way that you convey it is really, really important. Okay, so that's really going to be key. Clairsentience. Clair is clear sensations or the feeling that you get. Now, I'm going to come straight from what I wrote down here because I want you to make sure you get it. Receiving sensory understanding of one's thoughts, emotions, and intentions. This is said to be the most underestimated spiritual gift of all because of the depth of dimensional frequency we, the soul inside of our human, can tap into. We can also feel the emotions of animals, not just people. You also want to put in objects there as well. We also feel the energy from other galactic energy as well. Souls with this amazing gift out there. I know you hear me. I know you're like, this is me totally. Are more trusting of their gut instinct and their feeling and just going with the flow of life, as I spoke of earlier, even during those sharp, drastic changes that may catch others not so aware of your gift. Okay, clearly what I just talked about. And go ahead and comment below or to the side if you're live and share what is your experience? What are your questions? I'm certainly going to go back over this video and answer every single question that you write. Okay, I'm definitely let me make sure you know that I'm going to answer every single question because I really want you to have a way forward that's number one, safe for you and safe for the other person that you're reading. Okay. It's very, very important and safe for your children. If you got children, if you plan on having children, all the way around, first thing is to always practice spiritual safety. So, and that's so funny. That's how serious I feel about this is that I have right underneath that a note in bold red that empaths and intuits need to master this spiritual gift as a priority because the nature of overwhelm to all parties concerned and all of the content you have already learned through life and through any programs such as mine at SPIRITUALGUIDANCEACADEMY.com. So let's go with clear audience, clear hearing or heightened auditory sensory. Okay, tuning into the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and beyond auditory frequencies. You're picking up on one's thoughts and inner dialogue without hearing it through your human ears. This spiritual gift is often the most difficult to ignore simply because you may find, like me, that you respond verbally to the voice that you hear. Okay. And if you're communicating with someone who lies to you, oh, spiritual superstars, you immediately question what they are verbally saying because you clearly heard them just say something completely different, right? Only they didn't verbally say this thing that you just heard completely differently. You heard it through your clear audience. And so this is the quandary of this special gift and why it is quintessential to master. You also hear from your spiritual guides, your angels, your ancestors, messengers of the Most High, manifestations of the Most High, ascended loved ones, ascended fur babies, neighbors, through your spiritual gifts. So it is a very acceptable form of spiritual guidance. And for example, you may often hear your name being called. You might be taking a nap. You might call out someone's name who has ascended on or who may be in this fourth dimension that we call life, but just maybe in a separate room, even a separate state, a separate country, on another continent. And there is special meaning to that. And so pay attention, because I want you to start journaling that. Keep a journal next to your bed, next to wherever you're sleeping. If you're sleeping over someone's house, keep your journal with you. And, make sure that you're recording it. Why? Is because when you're receiving spiritual communication that is leading up to a very specific direction that divine source has you going in. And honey, I don't want you to miss out on your purpose, or on whether you're manifesting wealth, whether you're manifesting children. You could be manifesting a cure for the prognosis or diagnosis that the doctors have given you, your family member. You could just be at wit's end with a dilemma, and spirit is giving you the absolute solution that you can't get from anywhere else. Okay. Our ancestors reach out to us like that all the time. And so when they call your name, you want to definitely acknowledge their presence. Okay. Clairvoyance, clear vision, excuse me, or this is seeing through your spiritual sight. This is your mind's eye. Okay. This is through our third eye. This is seeing the unseen. And we can see into the future just as much as we can see into the past. There really is not a limit. And that is why I feel some people are in fear of using this spiritual gift. This may show up as prophetic dreams or thoughts that come to pass or come to fruition. And this includes negative prophecy as well. So what people perceive as blessed events or occasions or news. If you're using this gift, you may well tell people of their pregnancy, future, past, and present, okay, including weddings and even passing of exams. You may also see death of the humankind, and you also may see transition from one cycle of life or a circumstance in life, or any kind of situation such as someone being evicted to finding a new place, but you might see the transition because that energy that they are projecting is way more focused on that part of it. And so you might, you don't want to misstep and share that with them, when the ultimate goal actually is for them to be in the type of home that they were praying for, really, but you just picked up on the transition part of them staying in a shelter or sleeping on someone's couch, or just being distraught that their stuff was being put out. So you want to be sure that that other part of that message is going to come in, or if it's not, or if you don't want to miss it. So you just want to be able to have that cool about it and some tact, and you want to know that you're being responsible with your spiritual gifts. Okay. And so also with death, it is a big deal. And I, for one, I'm with you on that. I have predicted that, and it is never easy. It is never something that that I can say that it pains me. It hurts me. It's very deep and heavy. It's overwhelming, and it's dense. And not that it's evil. It's all of God, but it's extremely difficult. And when it is someone that you are close to, I just don't have words for it. So just be very aware of the fact that even though you may not see it as a blessing, your gifts are blessings. And I'm here to help you see that. And I'm here to help you own that. Okay, because it is a huge responsibility, and it is something that you can see as a blessing. And that's why I want you to reach out to me if if you have those questions. I want you to write them down in the comment section, and let's pick it apart. It might take me a little while because I want to see a ton of messages on there, but I will get to you. I promise you that. So we got clairtagency. Clairtagency. This is clear touch or psychometry. This is the ability to touch an object and read the historical blueprint or access the Akashic records of this object. And I know many of you do that. Energy attaches to people. and objects, including a structure. You put your hand on the side of a building, an old house, you touch something, and immediately you see, hear, feel the energy. You see an image, you see a scene, you see a clip of a situation, you see the historical energy of it, you feel the pain of it, the excitement of it, and it stops you right where you are. And it's so incredibly overwhelming that someone looks at you at that moment and they're like, "What's wrong? What just happened to you?" And you're like, "I don't know. I don't know." And they're like, "What did you just see?" "Well, you act like you saw a ghost." Well, you probably did. You probably saw the whole scene of it. And so just be very aware of that. My queen mother and I, we were very, very particular, specific about visiting a plantation that we passed quite often. And it was a plantation that did tours. And and when we went by there, every time we drove by, it was a shortcut to get to both of our homes. And every single time, there wasn't one time that I didn't see my ancestors. There wasn't one time that she didn't see our ancestors. And it was complete veneration, complete respect. The men would literally take their hats off and put their hand right here or bow, and you'd see waving, and you see the children climbing the trees and they would be waving. And some people would just be standing there looking. But literally, we would see them on both sides of the road. And when we went by the plantation house itself, just the stuff that you see the whole scenery. You see my ancestors working out in the field. You would just see all of it. And so we were very specific about going and whether or not we would take the kids. And so she said, "Nikki, let's just go without them and let's feel the energy out and let's see, let's have a discussion, have a talk if they're open with our ancestors, and let's go from there." And so we did that. And I will share with you that all of my senses within that whole experience was just overwhelming. It was just overwhelming, way overwhelming. Got to the point where I couldn't stop crying, to the point of my queen mother saying that, she is an empath. She is spiritually gifted. She is a channel, and she is picking up on so much, and it's just overwhelming her. And because it was just that. We got to one part where they hung up the meat, and it was in the little butcher house, or where they hang the meat up and they do the butchering and all of that. Well, they opened the door and people went in, and he was saying that he was saying that only young women were allowed to butcher the meat. The men were not allowed in there. And at the time that he was saying that, I literally was seeing one of my ancestors being just violated and abused and tortured and then murdered. And at the same time of me seeing all of this happen so quickly, I heard, "Do not enter." And of course, I didn't enter. And of course, my queen mother, she was not going to enter. And the energy was just overbearing. And so you got to be aware of that seriousness of it. I'm never going to lie to you, because what we experience is often unexplainable until you get to the point where you can explain it. And so just know that if you have children, or if you plan on having children, chances are they're already receiving visions that they don't understand. And if you don't understand it, how can you explain it to them? And I was very, very fortunate, very blessed to have my queen mother who cultivated my gifts without me even knowing it, because our gifts go way back and we're aware of it for generations, over 7 generations now that we've been able to document. So it's huge. And we're not the only ones. You know, you've got that in your family. And so just be aware of that. So clairtagency. You know, you can pick up an object and that belonged to a human being whose energy remains in or with that object. And so if you touch your nana's armoire, and you feel that energy vibrating through the palms of your hands, or you touch one of her candy dishes, or you touch one of your child's objects who have passed on, you certainly can feel their energy, and you certainly can communicate with them, with or without that experience having happened. All right, so hey, thank you so much. Look at New Policy has donated $5 to our mission. Thank you so much, beautiful. Let's see what you said. I just keep it to myself. Common human will thank you, bugging. But this is me. All right, you claimed it. All right, let me give you a shout out. Amen to that. You are not bugging. You are so on point. You are so spiritually gifted. You are not crazy, and you are so totally brave. Very courageous to acknowledge your spiritual gifts and to say, no, I'm not the crazy one at all. I am very aware, and I love that. That takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of bravery, and it just takes that willingness to humble ourselves also, as I'm sure that you would agree. My fingers tingle, my right leg gets tinged for certain things, and my left leg gets a certain ting for others. Absolutely. So New Policy, I love that you are sharing that with us. It's super big. So Archangel Shamuel, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael does this number right here. Scratches my face, my shoulder blades, to the point of of the soft touch, the whisper, the tickle, where you're just like, oh my goodness, And Archangel Gabriel presses down on my thighs. And so I love that you are really recognizing the different ways that spirit reaches out to us, because divine source reaches out to us for different reasons through different energies. And so you might receive laying of hands from Christ Jesus that pulls you out of this storm that you're in, and you might feel cradled by Buddha. But it really is dependent upon who comes to you at that time, because that is what you needed to satisfy, whatever situation was going on, to pull you out of it, So I love that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice. I get that. My name being called out. Good night, Angel. How you been, honey? And I think that we've talked about that before. I think you and I have talked about that, where your ancestors, and you're very aware of that. Are you not? Are you not? And what about being touched on your feet? Okay, that's a great question. Thank you so much for posing that. Hey, Bimmer Babe, thank you so much for tuning in. Your baby got tarot cards? That's a big deal. Oh my goodness. Girl, that's big. That's big. That's huge. That's huge. Did she tell you about that? Or did you just find out? So we gotta share that. We're a family. Oh my goodness. That's a big deal. My daughter touched them the other day. That was huge. I mean, she's at the stage where she's fighting, her gifts. And I get it. I've been there. So when I was in the bathroom, and I'm looking in here, and had him on the bed, and she just kind of was touching him, I was praying through the whole thing, praising God. It's a big deal. All right. So what about being touched on your feet? So we have been touched by hamsters that have passed on, you know, in the same way that they would either come up to us, smell our feet, crawl over our feet, stuff like that. We get that a lot. And hey, Victoria, welcome. Victoria is new to our family. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, all right. Come on back for more. Subscribe, hit that little bell, the notification button. And thank you for showing me some love by hitting the thumbs up button. And so when when we're talking about the soles of our feet, that's one thing, right? The soles of our feet are portals and they are gateways. So we want to make sure that we are using them very safely and very poignantly, as well as the palms of our hands, okay? Be very aware of how your feet are being touched. What are you feeling? Because there's a big difference from being held back and held down and being held in that past, of being stuck and stagnant and that spirit of lack energy versus being grounded and rooted from the beautiful earth energy and mothering energy and receiving from our ancestors energy. So that's I love that you asked about that. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to that. I love that you asked that. All right, all right. So Zariah, hey, beautiful. Thank you so much. I saw your comment earlier. I think you might have just been putting in your 1111s. Good job. In one of our other videos. What if it feels like a prick? Okay. So is it feeling like a prick on your feet? Or is it somewhere else on your body? So where is it? Where are you feeling the prick at? And you write that, and I will just go on ahead and share this about the, let's see, we'll go past clairtangency, clairsalience. Oh gosh, this one is awesome. It's also known as clairsent or clairsentience. I often use the word clarifaction, and this is really big. I'll tell you a story about clarifaction. It is the clear smelling, and you can absolutely smell illness on someone. You can smell infection in someone. Parents out there, if you ever smelled infection on your child, and you go to the doctor and they swear up and down that there's nothing wrong with them, they have had a negative test come back for strep or something like that, and you're like, I can smell the infection on my kid. I know that they need an antibiotic. Would you stop playing around? We don't want to have to come back. You got to take time off of work, or you got to take time out your business, your day. They got to take time off of school, all of that. Don't waste my time. Listen to me. I am his mother. I am her mother. I'm telling you that if we come back, that test is going to be positive, and then I'm going to be all upset because you wasted our time. And our time is our number one asset, and we don't get that back. I mean, I had to run it down to the point of really, I was so glad we got this new doctor we really been blessed though. Straight up, so much about herbs and natural remedies. And so with me being a lifestyle medicine practitioner, we'd be in there forever till the kids would be like, can we leave now? I think our thing is over. And we'd just be in there talking. So yeah, you have that gift, clairsalience or clarifaction is what I feel most comfortable saying. There's many different words to it or terms to it. Other thing is I'll share an experience. I was going to a meeting, and I knew that the person I was meeting with, her husband was not feeling good, wasn't doing well. And when I went in, I asked her how he was doing, and she said he passed on. And so I offered my condolences, and we talked about it. And it quite often when I would go in there, she would either be like, yeah, I'm going to go see him on lunch, or he would have just called or something like that. And so we're walking out down the hall, and all of a sudden I smell this extremely just overpowering cigar smoke. And it's all in a form, a huge form that is leading us down this hallway in front of her. And you can see the outline of it. I can literally see this big mass of smoke walking as a human. And I could smell it. It was just like, man, this does smell like I feel like I'm in one of those what do you call those things that when they stand there smoking cigars in the closed off little space, that little room, I forget what you call it. But I said, I gotta ask you, did your husband smoke cigars? And she's like, he smoked like a chimney. I'm like, he's standing right there. I'm like, goodness gracious. She said, oh yeah, he comes here all the time. He's so protective. I'm like, he's so protective. Oh my gosh. We cracked up. And she was like, the girls think I'm crazy. And so of course I was like, well, you definitely are not crazy. I was all dramatic and everything. So that she could have that support and everything. So we got to stick together. Clairsentience, that's clear sensing, okay? The ability to feel the present, future, or the past energy of another crossed over spirit, okay? So psychics, you engage that energy quite often. Want you to know that you can't play cat and mouse with negative energy. Don't play with ungodly energy. Don't play with it, okay? Remember, we always practice spiritual safety, period, all right? I feel like somebody's watching that's conjuring up energy and you don't know what you're fooling with. So just be very, very careful about that. Be very careful about who you go to that is not practicing spiritual safety. And I'm going to be honest with you always. I see voodoo and I see hoodoo in the terms. So just be very careful. And I see witchcraft. Now, these three terms are not something that I'm against. I'm not for them. I'm not against them. But you have to be very aware of who you're working with and what they're about and who they're working with. Don't engage anything that you don't know. Don't be that curious on that end of it. Be curious to seek out the word of God, okay? But be curious enough to ask questions so that you don't get yourself involved in energy that you don't want to be in, okay? It's very difficult for you to unbind yourself from that energy. And I can tell you from people that have reached out to me, not everybody is right. A lot of people have asked me, how do they get right? How do they get right back with God after wronging somebody as a practitioner, as someone that's practicing spirituality in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a minister, whether it is they call themselves an empress, prophet, prophetess, whatever it is, just be careful. Card reader, coach, just be careful. All right. So, what's another one? Clear empathy. We all know what that is. No surprise there, right? Empaths out there, remember you're practicing spiritual safety, okay? Number one, messing with that. Okay, so let's see what else. I only get feeling that something's there, and wait to see if I get a message with it, but nothing yet. Been going on for about 5 years now. Okay, so waiting to see if you get a message. Are you ever asking? Do you ever ask? Night Angel, do you flat out ask? Who is this? What do you want? Why are you touching my foot? What do you want? What do you want me to see? Get nothing. I would have to ask you more questions. And I would love for you to just start writing it down if you're not, every single time, and really pay attention to whatever else is going on. The other thing is, spiritual superstars really want you to be careful about what you're putting into your own body. If you're smoking cigarettes, if you are someone that drinks alcohol every night or often, a couple times maybe even during the day, if you're on a lot of synthetic medication, all of these things and living in toxic situations, could be toxic relationships. You got to watch your own mental health and your emotional health and all of that that's surrounding. And I say that because all of that makes a difference from your ability to really master your spiritual gifts and to really receive that clarity that I believe we often, we're all really seeking. I think most of us are seeking it, but I believe that you can definitely have. And I say that from experience. When our human is focused more on instant gratification or the circumstances we're living in, the pain of the current cycle of life, then it becomes that much more important for us to really focus on the divine, focus on exactly what messages we're getting, because that's when spirit is really coming in and asking us to feed faith and to really listen and then move on our spiritual guidance, act on it. So, for example, I have a client who smokes cigarettes, and she's trying her best to stop. Before COVID, she was doing group cessation program or sessions, and it was kind of working for her. I think she tried the patch. I don't know which one, but what happened was she went cold turkey, and her spiritual gifts came in like a floodgate. And then and we weren't coaching, and then she got scared because of the clarity that she was receiving and didn't know what to do with it, and started smoking again and all of that. And her human just got bogged down with a lot of toxic energy. And so now she's not dreaming. Well, she's dreaming. I think we all dream, but she's not able to remember them now. And so we're kind of like, working back. And the first thing is to avoid the toxins that are, that she's welcoming into her human, into her vessel. Just think about it like this. Why would you come into a house that is tore down, bug infested, dirty, and it's just, ooh, it's smelly. They got old food, moldy, flies running around, all that stuff. And you just are like, that does not look safe. I don't want to go inside. There's no different from our spirit guides and certainly divine source. We've all heard that godliness is next to cleanliness. You just know this. You don't have to, for as a side note, you do not have to sacrifice your health. You do not have to compromise your family's health by using toxic products either, toxic chemicals and all of that stuff, the bleach, the Comet, the Ajax, and all that stuff. You just there's other solutions out there, safer, healthier, that you can definitely use that are affordable. So just keep that in mind. And if you are battling an addiction, there's many options out there, but I strongly suggest that you really start with the spiritual foundation. Just really, ask for help. That's it. Really just ask for help. It really is. It's not as easy as I'm saying it, that I know, but you got to start somewhere, right? When we got to manifest something, we got to start somewhere. So I would just say that. And timeshares, that's why I stopped smoking marijuana. Need to keep a clear mind. I totally just celebrate you for that, because a lot of the times when we're dealing with a chronic illness, stuff in life, we go for that escape. And a lot of the times marijuana is a help because we need that. I mean, it really is. I'm a proponent for it and CBD oil. However, not for every situation and not for everyone. I used to be a connoisseur, okay? Connoisseur of Mary Jane. However, it was keeping me from being in pain because of the lupus, the rheumatoid arthritis, the degenerative disc, the sciatica, all of that, it was horrible. And I used to feel like a train wreck by the time Friday rolled around. Couldn't even open up a pill bottle. Barely wanted to get off the floor. I would just sleep on the floor because I would be in so much pain. Knees would be swollen, ankles would be shot, just in pain. Eyes would be going weird, lightning bolts all over the place. Everything was going on. Army ants felt like they were eating away at my joints, headaches, migraines, just horrible. So I knew that that was probably going to be something that would help me sleep. It would help me just not move. And I just slept. And I lost a whole ton of weight. And I slept out of life. And so I just found something that really does reverse all that. And I have more energy than ever. And it's not synthetic meds. It's all Mother Earth. All this stuff right here. If you could see that. All my little, I'm a lover of Mother Earth. So be very aware that your spiritual gifts are a blessing. And so let's go through a couple more. What time is it? What time we got? All right, so I guess we're going to go for an hour. So you want to also master your gifts because you want to ward against psychic attack, spiritual warfare, out-of-body experiences that are unwanted, all right? Be very aware that the energies do exist inside the corners of your home. Also, negative energy likes to collect in corners of the home, so keep that in mind. Also, under your bed, you definitely don't want to have anything under your bed. If you got anything under your bed, you're trying to store it or you're trying to use it for storage, hands up. Who's doing that? Just go on ahead, hands up, and just me or no. Who's doing that? Hey, Miss Woods, how are you, beautiful? Who is storing stuff under their bed? No, 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 no. Okay, so Tanya, take that stuff up out of there. Good, Miss Woods. I know you were going to say no. I know. That you had better have said no, girl. Girl, my feelings would have been hurt. Yep, Zariah. No, girl, no shoes. Zariah, are you single? P. Mitch D. Okay, thank you for saying that. Thank you. Zariah, okay, Zariah says no. Okay, thank you so much. Let me tell you something, Rebecca. When I saw your face, I was like, that's Rebecca. No, I wasn't. I was like, that's, you know what I was like, that's Pink. But I was like, that is her. Okay, good. Okay. Hey, girl. All right. So, yes, shoes are not good. We don't want shoes under our bed. Let me tell y'all what happens. Okay, nothing under the beds. Thank you, Night Angel. All right. Right, Miss Woods. Okay. Between y'all two, if y'all would have said, yes, we do, I probably would have been like, hold on. I would have probably grabbed my purse. I'm coming. I don't even know where I'm coming to, but I'm coming. Because as many times as I done said it, and I know y'all were in my programs, y'all are straight up spiritual superstars. And I am so grateful for y'all. And you practice it. That's why I love it. Love it. Love it. Nothing under the beds. Nothing under the beds. Shoes. Zariah. We want you to have a happy marriage. We want you to have respect in the sanctity of your marriage. There you go. Thank you, Miss Woods. Thank you. Let me give it to you. That's right. That's right. Nothing blocking the flow of spiritual energy. We don't want nothing under that bed, okay? So, when you are saging, when you're smudging, it's Soraya. I know that's right. Get it, girl. Move them right now. What's another thing? Miss Woods, talk about the bed sheets. What about the bed sheets? Because we got to share this with you. We don't want no arguments. We don't want none of that. We don't want no disharmony. We want harmony. We want love. We want yes. And we don't want no green sheets ever. Burn those joints. If you have them, burn them. Don't even, just throw them out. That's right. Look at Night Angel. No green sheets. This is why I love y'all. This is why you should be doing what you love. You do it because you love it. If you would do it if you didn't get paid for it, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to always. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. All right, so Rebecca says, why? School me. All right, so I'm going to let y'all school her on that. And everybody else that's paying attention, hit the thumbs up button because my girls just came on in. That is what you call certified spiritual life coaches. And that's why we have that program over at spiritualguidanceacademy.com. Highly recommend you take that program because you see, if our spiritual superstars are rolling it off like that, then that's what we're about. We want to help you understand how to live your best life. All right, so claircoyance, clear communication. This is fairly new. Has been established as knowing the exact word or phrase to use at any given time. This is having the ability to know the origin and phonology of the word being used to meet the object. People that are fluent in multiple languages may very well possess this spiritual gift, but there is another aspect, I believe, and that's those that are self-taught to learn a language without any formal training or understanding from anyone outside of spirit. Completely own this gift, in my humble opinion, okay? We know children that are apt to become fluent in multiple languages, but animals are as well, right? And so you may find that you're able to read a language that you've never ever seen before, or carry on a conversation with someone that speaks a completely different language. And you know what? Love is always at the center. So you know that God is all up in that when you know doggone well you've never even seen this language, you've never seen this person, and yet you're understanding it fluently. And you watch a child that does that, it'll blow your mind, right? You watch an animal that knows exactly what you're saying, and it's because you're tapping into each other's energy and you absolutely are having that spiritual communication above all. So a prophet, evangelist, a teacher, service, which translate into the word ministry, exhortation, giving. This spiritual gift is those gift share their own possessions, services, products, themselves, right? Your bodily possession with others with extraordinary generosity. Did you get that? With extraordinary generosity. All right. You got to be careful. When you are a giver, I want you to give once you are already full of yourself, not before that. Even when you're in the airplane, you must take care of self before others. Yes? Yes or yes? So no exception. When you are giving of your spiritual gifts, it is never, ever to the fault of your self being drained. It's never to that, okay? Leading. This is leadership, inner, outside of any spiritual group or anything like that. This is, there's another one, mercy, possibly identical to the gifts of help or the gift of helps. The mercy shower possesses a ministry of visitation, prayer, and compassion to the poor and sick. Be careful, empaths out there, when you're giving of your gift of mercy, because you can very well drain yourself and people will come to you for healing, and you definitely need to be getting paid for that, okay? Now, you heard me say that. Yes, I did, and yes, you should, because spirituality and money are married, okay? They are in holy matrimony. All right. They go hand in hand in harmony, perfect harmony. All right. And so the word of wisdom. Okay. The word of wisdom. This is knowledge. And this is the beautiful part of wisdom is that the experiences that you have, right? Nobody can take that away from you. That's why you're a walking testimony for so much more than you give yourself credit for. Remember, babe, we didn't forget about baby girl and the tarot cards, okay? So I really want to hear about that. And so the knowledge that you obtain from your experiences turns into wisdom when you share it with others, right? We got some teachers on right now. They can vouch for that. If you recognize yourself as a teacher, you recognize yourself as all of the other ones that we just talked about, every single gift. Word of knowledge. There's the next one. All right. Faith. This refers to that strong or special faith which removes mountains, casts out devils. It's in the Bible in Matthew's, and faces the most cruel martyrdom without flinching. It is distinguished from the saving and normal in many religious umbrellas, predominantly in faith or in Christianity, is what I have noted right here. Faith is the belief in the hope of what has happened before that's worked for you, and undoubtedly that it will happen again in the situation you're in, because you definitely know that you ain't got no other choice but to feed faith, or you're going to have to feed the fear that you're already feeling. And you know, in that split second where you're like, okay, I'm going to go back to the situation I was just trying to leave from. No, I know what to expect back there. So I'm going to feed this over here. I don't know what it is, but it's making me feel a little bit more comfortable than going back to what this was over here. I don't want that. I'm going to feed faith. Something feels good about that. It's fresh. It's new. It's scary. It's exciting. It's adventurous. But you know what? I'm here. And every obstacle that I've had, I have won because I'm still here. So you know you're a winner. You know that you have reached victory after victory after victory, right? And so why would this time be any different? You feed faith. Now I'm going to tell you something about faith. When you're expecting a miracle, it is very important that you watch who you share that with, that you are very careful about who you share what you are expecting when it is a miracle. You've got to be careful that you don't share too much with the wrong person. Why? Because the right person will be working against you, and oftentimes they don't even realize that they are. For example, let's say that you're about to get married and you mess around and tell somebody that's so excited that they tell other people, and the other people get a hold of that and they're not so excited. Now they're thinking, well, dang, another person's getting married and I'm not. Now, what happens to the energy that is ultimately attached to you and your beautiful, blessed news? It gets changed. It gets altered because there's way too many people involved now. And that frequency changes and it's bent. And so you don't want to put any negative spin on it just by not being quiet. You know, just keep your business to yourself more often. And so that energy just vibrates back to where it came, right? We always say negative energy, go back from whence it came. Well, that negative energy sends its negative vibes out to the originating energy, which is from your good, blessed energy, positive energy, exciting energy, you know, just happy, happy news. Be careful about that. All right. They don't mean to, but what they're doing is sending out bad vibes to you. We don't want that. So be careful about that. Same thing when you have a illness or anything like that. You want to make sure that, mum's the word with a lot of it. And if you're sharing it with somebody, let it be somebody that you truly trust, is on top of their stuff spiritually, so that they are governed by God, period. And they are mature in their spiritual development enough to know how to handle such delicacy, which is your ultimate pure energy. You can't trust that with everybody, okay? All right, gifts of healing, the ability to supernaturally minister healings to others. All right, remember this. This is laying of hands, or laying on hands. There's so many different energies here. Massage therapists out there. Anybody who is going to the church and you laying hands on people, you going and trying to figure out if you could give this person a massage, that person a massage. If you can go on and minister to people, don't play around with it. Why? Because we practice spiritual safety. That's the number one thing. We want to make sure that you come home and you're not bringing demons home with you. The second you come home, do you wash your hands? Do you do your spirit? I'm talking about a spiritual washing of hands. I'm not talking about just going to the sink because it's COVID. Nothing like that. Do you absorb that and bring it home to the people you live with? Do you bring it home to your sheets? You could take a bath in clean water. You could, use our Gold Bar soap. You could do whatever. You could lotion up with our Renew lotion. You could do whatever you want. All natural, everything, and be nice and clean, smelling good, and still bring spiritual energy home to your bed. You want to do that. You don't want to absorb energy that can ultimately hurt you or someone that you're close to. All right? So be very, very careful about that. Working of miracles. Just remember that this is not done by ordinary beings such as humans. Remember, you're the soul within your human. It is by the power of the Holy Spirit that lives within each and every one of us. So we are the soul within our human, and the Holy Spirit lives within us. All right. So when we are saying working of miracles, we really are humbling ourselves to our Creator, period. But like I said, when we're not in that humbled understanding and spiritual maturity, you must be very careful who you're including in that miracle. Let the miracle have happened and then you testify about it publicly. Okay? Visions and outpouring of this gift. This is the vision. This is the prophecy. This is that imagery. Remember this. Nobody else is privy to it until you tell somebody else. Discerning of spirits. Okay, this is the capacity to distinguish or discern or to discriminate the source of a spiritual manifestation, whether it emanates from a good or evil spirit. Did you hear me? Whether it emanates from a godly, divine, good, beautifully pure, heavenly spirit or an evil, ungodly spirit. It seems to have been particularly associated with prophecy, discerning of spirits, or spirit of discernment. And, you got to be careful about that. Always pray for the spirit of discernment because you definitely want to know who you're dealing with. Have you ever walked down the street or have you ever rolled down the street in your car? You look at somebody that's passing by on the street, your eyes lock, and you feel like you just looked at something of the most ungodly energy ever. You feel like, oh my gosh, why didn't I just keep my eyes on the road? Right? You ever notice that? Have you ever noticed that? But notice that when you're somewhere and you feel somebody staring at you, so much so, they could be burning a hole in the back of your head. It's like it feels so strong. You turn around and you get a look at somebody's eyes and it's just like, oh, you can't even stand it. You have to look away. Yes, the eyes are the window to the soul, honey. And when you're seeing the soul and it looks dead, it looks like worms, it looks all nasty and just decayed, it looks horrible. You're seeing that soul for what it is. And here's the reason that you see it like that, because I know what you see. I know you see maggots. I know you see all nasty, ugly, just ungodly stuff, just unhealthiness, just toxic, just all that when you look at someone through their eyes sometimes. And it is because you're seeing the truth of their soul. So when you have that moment, know that. Don't lie to yourself. Don't let your human lie to you out of fear because of what she or he just saw. Tell your human, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, because your human just saw that and showed it to you. And so your human is questioning why, what, oh no, that's impossible. No. And your human's going to do that. No, no. In some way, shape, or form, your human's going to be like, no, I didn't just see that. No. Don't let your human down. Don't let her down. Don't let him down. Get your human out of that situation and have a talk with your human and tell her, oh my gosh, okay, thank you so much, girl. We just saw that. Your human's going to be like, no, you didn't. We didn't see that. Girl, we just saw that. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, did you just see that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, what was that? Oh my gosh. Go to the bathroom. You know, you're going to be in the mirror like, oh my gosh, what did we just see? What was that? You're going to have a moment. Have that moment. Have that moment. Don't ignore it. Because if you force your human to still be in front of that person, you will be sacrificing your human. You will be absolutely telling your human, don't trust me. From that point on, you're going to have a hard time working with your human. And you got to become best friends with your human in order for you to have this ability to live your best life, because you deserve that. And your human deserves to know that you've got her or his back. All right. Otherwise, your human's just going to be finding ways to just deal with life. And you got to remember your human's on the front line of life. Okay. So you got to remember that. All right. Tongues. All right. So this is an unlearned language, right? The speaking thereof. It's all throughout the Bible. We know that. Let's see. What do we got here? Paul seems to have distinguished between the public use of the gift, which must always be interpreted according to what I have on, I pulled it off of Wikipedia. In the private use, which was for the spiritual strengthening of oneself. So there's a dispute on whether or not it's an unlearned human language or whether it is speaking in unlearned and allegedly non-human language of heavenly or angelic origin. Tongues has always tripped me up. And I remember during an awakening, I definitely was speaking in tongues. And another woman, I went to a church that this woman was being delivered. And she caught the Holy Ghost. And if you don't know what the Holy Ghost is, just simply means that she gave herself over to the Holy Spirit that lives in each and every one of us. Just gave herself over to God. Just complete, pure humility and vulnerability and open to thy will be done, not mine. Have your way with me and please use me. And thank you so much. Just complete humility. Right? Just totally open to our Creator. That's the Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Ghost. And so when we catch it, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because you totally are just exasperated. For me, anyway, just totally drained and you feel so good. And you're totally stripped in that moment. If it's real, for me, okay, if you really feel it, you feel totally stripped. And you just feel like, oh man, like I just seriously had God move throughout me and remove the stuff that I couldn't remove myself. And and she was throwing up. You know, she threw up uh, green. And I remember at that time, I wasn't focusing on chakras and all of that. And knew I was gifted and I knew stuff was happening. And I was trying to ignore my gifts. And I knew I was really successful as an energy healer and a massage therapist. I was a celebrity massage therapist here in Atlanta. And I was really doing great for myself. But when that happened, I was like, that tripped me out. Tripped me out. Because it was a green that you couldn't have told me that that came from anything she ate. I'll put it like that. Did not seem like a color that was from food. Just didn't, So just know that the spiritual alchemy versus human logic, get used to that. If you're just waking up or if you are, more open to your spirituality and to your spiritual growth, okay? Just be open to that. But speaking of tongues, it's going to happen. And some people, it's an art form, the interpretation of tongues. We've got that in Corinthians. It's all over different spiritual texts. So here's one that I want you to pay attention to, though. Helps. The gift that you want to be of service to the sick and to the poor. And it has everything to do with being an empath. But the helper, be careful that this gift doesn't present a burden, okay, onto you. Because there's this God-given love for the needy and the afflicted. So be very, very careful, because you can be a people pleaser and you can be the one that gets stepped on, that gets taken for granted, that is undervalued, unappreciated, and really is resentful to some people. You can also be the one that is abused. So be very, very careful about that. And make sure that you're watching that quality and that spiritual gift in children. It is an almost uncontrollable until you learn how to control it in this fourth dimension amongst wolves and these monsters that are all too perceptive and aware that these helpers are out here innately wanting to just give and be of service to the needy and the afflicted. So here comes the praying ones, come right on in, pray on you for having those spiritual gifts and for having that need of, oh yeah, I can help. Sure, I can. Oh my gosh, I just got to take care of you. Oh my gosh, you're sick, you don't feel well. Oh my gosh, what do you need? I'll bring you some soup. Of course I can take care of you. I'll give you a massage. I'll do this and that. I'll put myself in a compromising situation. I'll put my children's in harm's way. Well, sure, I'll do this. I'll go broke for, and I'll believe that you're gonna pay me back. I'll let you have my credit card. I'll pay for it. I'll do this and that. Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, how could that have happened to you? You must feel so sad. And of course you can use my card. All of that. No. No. You don't want that. Be very careful about that, okay? Be very careful, because young men, young women, taken for granted. Just straight up taken for granted. So just be very careful about that. Let's see what else we got. What else we got that I can share with you today? We don't choose which gifts we're going to receive, right? God bestows them upon us through the blessing that we're given, all right? Through the Holy Spirit. Remember, you're the soul within your human, right? You're dual being, and you were really blessed with these gifts. And just like me, you may feel like they don't seem like a blessing, Miss Nicole, Mom Nicole. They don't seem like it. I guarantee you that they are. Guarantee you they are. And And that's why you have me, to help you master them. Because a lot of people want to be in business, doing what they love. And what you're seeing me do is do what I love. And I'm in business doing what I love. And I use my spiritual gifts. And it is the best thing ever. And so you want to use your gifts, but you also want to attach your gifts if you're going into business for it, because I do believe spirituality and money live in perfect harmony. I don't believe we were given these gifts to hide. I don't believe we were given special talent, these skills that come so natural. A little scary because they come so natural and other people are just like chopping us down, cutting us off at the knee, judging us, criticizing us, treating us poorly because of, until they want to use us for them. So the lack of support is there. But it's no different than if you got into debt to go to a traditional school to learn how to be an attorney, and the same people are cutting you down, chopping you off at the knee, criticizing you, judging you, treating you poorly because of your choice of career. Because you now use verbiage that challenges their mind. Because now you run with other like-minded, career-driven peers that make them, the closed-minded, the ones that are judging you, criticizing you, makes them feel inadequate and insecure. Has nothing to do with you. None of your business. You do you, and you help as many people as you can. And you get to smile at night because you know you've blessed other people. You get to say, Divine Source, I'm so grateful for these gifts that you gave me. I'm learning. I get to be a life learner. At the same time, you get to bless other people. You're so blessed to be a blessing. So, people that say, you shouldn't get paid. If it comes natural for you, then you shouldn't get paid. Well, does the genius that decides to be a doctor, should they not get paid because he had to get a certification in order to actually practice medicine legally? In order to get a certification, certainly had to go to school to get it. Is that any different? Should he not get paid because it comes natural? Comes natural, right? An educator. An educator is often teaching. Everywhere you go, there's a teachable moment for an educator. Should they not get paid? What about the police officer who was the one that was always being the mediator, breaking up fights, putting themselves in the line of danger? Came natural for them. Should they not get paid? The chef, the cook, culinary perfection. They deserve to get paid. So don't let anyone tell you that. The exchange of value has to be there. And so when you take your spiritual gifts, what I want you to do is understand that you cannot do this by yourself. I think that that is the number one reason that people that are up to one level and have a hard time breaking to the next level in their spiritual business is because they try to do it themselves. Like, you know, you got to start somewhere, right? So you should have your social media accounts up. You know, if you're going to podcast. If your groove is on LinkedIn, pound it out. If it's on YouTube, pound it out. If it's on Instagram, pound it out. Take massive action, just giving, being of service. And I promise you, at the end of the day, you will be so, so proud of yourself. And I promise you that what you're doing is literally tapping into the universal energies that say, I'm giving back to you. I'm going to give back to you because I see you giving to my people. And so what you receive from the universe is way bigger than you could have ever imagined within your own human limitation of a vision. You know, because quite frankly, as you being the soul within your human is still capped, very limited in what she or he can see. So they see back into the past all the time. So they're saying, even though you've got this vision, you've got vision boards, you've got these ideas, you've got these goals, you've got these dreams, you've got these achievements you want to achieve. You've got accomplishments to just own, right? You got all of this. And your human is sitting there like, yeah, right. They can do that, but what about us? Come on. We can't even get our life in order with our bills. You think that we can really be a millionaire? So your human is going to be feeding you these lies, trying to, because who was feeding your human these lies, right? So even though your human is like right here and your dreams and goals and aspirations are way up here, like you can't even see them on the screen, but your humans are like right here, right? So, in order for you to open your human's limitation and ceiling that your human put on herself or himself through the conditioning, through society, through the labeling, through the circumstances that you currently live in, through the past pain, through the lack of support, through that energy that's toxic, all of that, you have to give. Keep on giving. Give. And I promise you, why wouldn't you? I promise you that you will see God move in your life like never before. And how you do it is none of your business. It is none of your concern. And your concern is to give. Give. Because that's why you're here. To use your gifts to help other people. So here's what people often do, right? We realize, oh, okay, I'm here. I think I'm good at this. I'm good at this. Okay, people are giving me confirmation. I'm good at this, but I can only be this good. Not true. So what you have to do is use your spiritual gifts, right? Use your spiritual gifts. Write your gifts down. What are your gifts? Write them down. Write them in the comment section. What are your spiritual gifts? Because when you make it plain, what happens? What happens when you make it plain? Write it down. You make it plain. What happens? Y'all all know this. Y'all all know this. You write it down. You make it plain. It's going to come true. You're seeing it. When you write it down, you make it plain. You make it your goal. You make it your plan. And you work your goal. You work your plan, right? Right? Amen. Look at Sabrina. Nicole, it took me a while to understand that my unique gifts were supposed to be used to assist and bless others every day. Girl, yes. Every day. Every single day. God loves a cheerful giver. Sure does. Sure does. Every single day. Let me tell you a big mistake that I made. I would go 3 years go hard 3 years in my mission and boom, pull back. I used to fear my own success. I used to get to a point of money that I hadn't gotten to before, and then I would be like, oh, I got to do things different. Why? No one said do anything different. That was me. Nobody said anything about that. But because everything started feeling good, it started feeling like, whoa, okay, this is way more than I had even imagined I could do. And nobody ever has done this around me that I know of. Certainly nobody that looks like me, nobody in our family, you know. And I'm like, whoa. And I will pull back. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that no more. No matter where you're at in your life, give your gifts, give your mission time to breathe. Give it time to see the light of day and don't stop. You got to be like, can't stop, won't stop. So, yeah, every single day, I love that. I love that. So then what you want to do is, like I said, you can't be a one-man island. You can't be a one-woman island. You have to network. Networking is so good. Now, I understand that there's a whole business in network marketing. There's a whole business of unhealthy business practices, stuff that is fraudulent, stuff that hurts people, like people, like their whole bottom of their floor just came out. The whole life just fell apart from networking with the wrong company. That's not what I'm talking about. Network marketing is relationship building. It's what we're doing right now. We have a relationship, Sabrina. And everybody else, we got a relationship. I love y'all. You know, how long we been on here? Hour and 23 seconds, 23 minutes, right? I love y'all. We family, right? Look at Enlightened Goddess. Hey, family. You know, we family. Shoot, we be at the cookout, okay? And I'm telling you, I've been in communion. Okay, Divine Source. Now, you know, this year we had planned events and all of that. So I'm like, how are we supposed to do it? Do I need to get a mask for each outfit for next year? Because I'm coming. We coming, okay? We coming. We planning this thing out. But not everybody is online. And some people are in person, and we coming. So you know, we family. We're going to be doing air hugs. No, I ain't even with this. When you see them doing this and stuff, I'm not even, we doing air hugs. You're not doing shoulders or elbows or nothing. Like, don't touch me. We can't be like that. So you have to put it together and just bless people. That's it. Look it. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. And you're grateful to do it, okay? Grateful to do it because we're so blessed to do it, right? And so network marketing is really understanding that you are so blessed and highly favored that people are assigned to you. I talked to two beautiful women today that one of them enrolled in our shopping club, and it was so beautiful. And we called customer service. We did the whole nine, and they made her feel like a queen. And it was so good. And we've got so much in common. It's crazy. 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 Down to our mama's names. It's crazy. When Spirit puts those that are assigned to you and you are assigned to them, in front of you like that, boom, you will meet, you will connect, you will do what God wants you to do. And that's the epitome of thy will be done. Spirit, you just do your work in me. I am the sower of the seeds God gave. Okay? Listen, when we speak what we seek, we will see what we've said. I'm going to name some off, and I want you to really pay attention because I want you to start writing your affirmations down. And if I could share any with me, any with you, and it gives you inspiration, then that's awesome. Remember, with Invictus, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. I claim victory and sovereignty over my family and our growing empire. I am the first millionaire and my babies are the second in our family. I declare my family is covered by God's healing hands. Okay? I declare my family and I are covered by God's divine energy. I am flowing with the divine's plan for me and my family. I am in alignment with those who help my business grow abundantly. I am a target for blessings and abundance. I am consistently consistent in my daily steps to grow my empire. I am so happy and grateful that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. That's Bob Proctor. I give where I'm needed. I focus on being of service. I bless others through health and wellness and spiritual guidance. And money is abundantly given to me consistently. I am grateful for all the blessings that I have. I constantly find abundance and prosperity every single day. I constantly become richer as I give with generosity. Money is pure energy and is created in my mind. I am open and willing to receive massive amounts of wealth and health and abundance. The more I give, the wealthier I become. All right, I bring hope. Make sure that you plan your goal and you work your plan. I am committed to consistent action as an excellent leader. I am faithful to the health of my human being and the safety and security of my babies. All right, so for example, and here's one, if you run from the work, you might as well hide from the money. Okay? Take massive action. Don't let anybody pull you from your dreams because the very ones that are trying to block your abundance will be the very ones that will happily be right there with you in your stuck, stagnant energy, and you don't even want that to come true. So you got to distance yourself. Let me tell you something. Your own family will be the ones to shoot you down when you share your dream, when you try to start your business, when you try to do anything for yourself. Sometimes it's your own parents because they ain't never had nothing. And you the first person in the family that's about to catch, you done caught a wind of you can have more than what they had. And unfortunately, some of our parents out there just don't have the security within themselves to know that their legacy is where their wealth is, and so it's not the money that they're giving, it's the support, it's just the love that they need to give, but sometimes it's just not possible for them to do that. And so you got to be the one to say, you know what, I forgive you, I love you. I'm gonna look at you as if you were a 5-year-old baby. I'm gonna look at you like you 6, my own parent, my own daddy, my own mama, who might have stole from you, might have put cable in your name, might have done all that. You might have to pay for their car note. You might be trying to give them money. And then they see you building your business and it's just, oh, I see them separating. I see that's what a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of that happens. How do I know? I see it all the time. All the time. And I've experienced it to an extent, you know? I mean, it's horrible when you see family jealous of you for what? Do you know what I went through to get where I'm at? And I'm not even close to where I'm going. How can you be jealous? How can you be envious? Do you know how much I work? Do you know that I'm up sun up to sundown sometimes? Do you know? Do you know what that's like? Do you know that sometimes you got to sacrifice the things that you want to do? You might want to spend time with the kids. Do you know that you got to do your work? You got to get it in because ain't nobody else going to do it. So then you wonder, how could you be jealous of that? I work my tail off and you can too. And I love what I do. So you got to know that when you're on to something and that something is your purpose, there's going to be people that are going to hate. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be trolls. There's going to be people that call you fake, a fraud, call you your work is horrible. There's gonna be people that are gonna try to take from you. You gotta have those checks and balances. You provide a service. What is your if your type of service that you need a disclaimer, have the disclaimer. If you're providing a service, then what is your refund policy? What is your cancellation policy? Don't get caught out there. Don't let anybody take advantage of you. There's just some simple things that you can do and have in place that'll protect you. But it boils down to having that healthy boundary. So even when your own kids tell, oh, you're trying another business, oh, you're doing this and that now, or your parents, oh, that you think you're gonna do that? Well, I don't know what you're doing that for. Nobody needs that. What you mean? You all healthier now and you so what's that mean? You ain't gonna eat any more pork? Ah, girl, you about to eat this pork. So what you mean? You ain't so now what so what's that mean? Oh, that don't sound, all right, well, you could do it, but don't expect me to support you. Well, nobody was, because obviously, so you don't get all of that. So that's why you got to come on in to your family. We're going to support you. We're going to encourage you. We're going to certainly celebrate you. The little wins. Okay, when you opening up your YouTube channel, you open your YouTube channel, we celebrating that. That's like New Year's Eve. Okay, we celebrating that. That's a big deal. That's huge. That's a big win. It's like, high five all over the place, right? Right? I'm telling you. So come on in and come on into the fold because we want you to succeed. All right, so I got to get going. I think y'all are so awesome. Ashe, ashe. Air hugs. Enlighten guys with your beautiful soul. Didn't I ask you to email me? I think I did. But then we had Queen Mother. I think it was before. Didn't I ask you to email me? And I know I be putting y'all on the spot. But this is our, it's our family. We family. It's like we having tea, which I'm about to go make me some. I wish my favorite tea is so good, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to tonight I'm having me some sleepy time with echinacea. Have y'all ever tried that? It's so good. Sleepy time has been my thing since the 90s. Really since the 80s, I think, because I think that's when my Queen Mother, it was the 80s because it was before I graduated. It sure enough was from the 80s. So good, let me tell you. Tea. And if you got chronic conditions, tea, green tea, no sugar, raw honey, some lemon and lime. All right. I don't think you did either. And I want you to make sure you email me. Now, everybody, tell Enlightened Goddess to email me, please. My hand is on my hip, Enlightened Goddess, if you couldn't see. Okay? So now you know when your hand is on your hip, we mean business. I didn't even expect it to be on my hip. I love y'all so much. All right, so I will see y'all tomorrow because we're gonna pick this back up. But I think we're gonna share. What do y'all want me to tell you? What do you wanna know? How can I help you? And we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm gonna write it down. Let me get my right notebook that I gotta use so that we can have a good conversation tomorrow and I can plan on it. What are we training on tomorrow? Okay. Enlightened Goddess. Okay. I got my note. I got my pad of paper. And y'all gonna be our number one. So what are we talking about? Throw some subjects out there and anything. It doesn't just have to be for tomorrow, but I'll put the topics down here and make sure that I come back with some practical application that you can use immediately. So what do we need to discuss? Thank you so much, Sabrina. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Tanya, how is Mama doing? How is Mama and how is the housekeeper? How are they doing? They doing all right? I want to thank you too for sending Queen Mother your love. All right. I'm staying consistent. Okay. That's right, High Priestess. Air hugs to all blockages. And let me say this. Let's celebrate High Priestess because she just came out the spiritual closet all the way. So we celebrate you, honey. All the way. All right, so Enlightened Goddess says all the way. I'm so proud of you. And it took me by surprise. But it was so fluent. And I knew that you were going to do it. I knew it was just a matter of time that I was seeing you as you are now. And so when I did see you as you are now, I was like, yep, like it was like you had always been like that. But then I had to wait a minute. This is different. She just came out the closet. Nice. And we celebrated. I was so proud of you, and I am so proud of you. All right, staying consistent. Okay. Now, staying consistent in all areas of life, like business. Give me something else. Tell me a little bit about that. Good. I'm so glad to hear that, Tanya, honey. I am so glad to hear that. And we started our Unit 3 over in our purpose-driven group on Facebook. So Spiritual Superstars, if you don't have a Facebook account, just get one for us. You don't even have to keep it up. And you can always block anybody else from coming on your timeline. Did you know that? You can literally set your settings so that you see only what you want to see and everybody else only sees what you want them to see. So I always tell people that don't let social media run your life. You run your life and you run social media the way that you want it to be run. This is your life. You get to live it based on your terms. All right. So I know one thing at this time, And there's 2 kids in this house better taking their showers already. All right, so staying consistent in all areas of life. Okay. All right, business, health. That's all. No one else has any. I'd be tearing y'all out, I think. Self-love, etc. Okay, well, check it out. If something comes up tonight or something comes up later, come on back to the thread and comment and ask questions. Whatever you need to know, whatever you've got concerns about, just know this. I'm a teacher at heart. That's my undergrad is educational studies, but my Master of Science is lifestyle medicine, health and wellness coaching with a strong focus in chronic disease management. And so, one thing about me that many of you probably already know is I am super, super serious and big, and no question is too silly or shouldn't deserve an answer. Every question deserves an answer. And if I don't know it, we will get you an accurate answer and not just lie or just pass off something that sounds okay or, use big words to try to make up for the fact that I don't know something. We want to make sure that you share because chances are people that are not so comfortable asking the question or just don't know how to ask the question. Some people are just learning English. Some people are, and brilliantly so. I mean, oh my gosh. Some of you that say, because we have spiritual superstars from 8 years of age to all the way up, and from all over the beautiful globe. So chances are someone else is going to see your comment in a different time zone or have time to translate it. And then they email me and they're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one, or I saw so and so comment and I was wondering if you could answer it, or this is what I'm going through. And so when you pose those questions, you are helping so many people. I promise you that. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Now right here, Miss, is it Isa or Isa? Is a wig? It's a wig, sis. Let me tell y'all about this woman right here. Let me tell y'all about this woman right here. Talent, heart, about to be a millionaire, amazing woman. And mark my words, y'all gonna see a lot of her. Y'all gonna see her. Girl, you stunned me today. Stunned me, okay? I'm telling you. Who says, okay, so you said I had my spiritual gifts because I didn't know there was others like me. Girl, yes, right? That's how I felt. That's how I felt. And that's how we all felt, right? And so how blessed it is that Spirit was like, Nikki, I told you, stop seeking for the woman that looks like you. You can't find them because you're not out there. I was looking for everybody under the sun. All I could see was Iyanla Van Zandt. Okay, she's Christian. I'm not. There's who is it? Lisa Nichols. She's a public speaker. Nothing to do with spirituality. Okay, I see everybody else that doesn't look like me. I see Michael Beckwith. He's a man. I don't see anybody out here in mainstream spirituality. And so the reason why I go so hard, the reason why I ask for y'all support, the reason why I ask for your feedback and participation, the reason why I do what I do And I want y'all to succeed. I want you to reach the goals that you really came here to reach and do the work that you came here to do. Is because mainstream spirituality is whitewashed. And we all know this to be true. And there's a lot of taboo and a lot of terminology that just isn't true. And it stems from bias and generational curses. And we need to heal that generational energy. And we need to, I'm on a mission to broaden the face and to change and reinvent the face and the imagery of spirituality. Because quite frankly, it is a diverse palette. It is really wide and vast in ethnicity, cultural differences and appreciation, gender. It is all beautiful colors, and you cannot deny the expertise that often has just been hidden and undervalued. And so we're changing that. We're changing that. And I'm doing that with your help. I certainly can't do it without your help. And so I work very hard to build our platform and to really keep it going. And it is a lot of work. But one of the things that I'm providing is visibility for anybody that really has a mission, and you've got these gifts, or you've got this message, you've got these products, you've got these services, and you just need that warm market. Well, we're a family. Other people call it a warm market. We call it family. Because one thing I'm not going to let people do is come on in to our private groups and try to sell stuff to you when you came in there to really receive and to be in this non-judgmental, just loving and hugging, understanding, safe zone. So, we do it in we do it with guidelines, but understand that I'm here to help you. I'm definitely here to help you because you deserve to get your message out there. So that's where we're at. All right, that's where we're at. So yeah. Wow. Yeah. My family treated me like I was weird. God told me, yep, it's time. You got that right, girl. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. You are a blessing to me because you are so open and comfortable with what you do. Your energy is so pure. Thank you, girl. I receive it. Oh, I received that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God will give you strength. I know that's right. I claim it. All right, baby doll. So you and I have a future appointment. I look very forward to hearing what you feel and what you love the most about what I sent you on that email. And I look forward to hearing from everybody. If I can help you, if I can be of service to you, please comment down below, or please reach out to my team at spiritualguidanceacademy@gmail.com. I love y'all. Mwah. I'll see you soon. Stay safe and healthy and be blessed. Thank you. You too. Be blessed. You're so welcome. Hey, Jada. You're so welcome, honey. I needed to hear that. I will come over live more. And I thank you for that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Because I know how much it took for you to even write that. Thank you.